All right, y'all boys, we back with another video. So today we got a little bit more information, kind of like the little teaser trailers that they normally put whenever a new character comes out. And then obviously talking about who's the voice actor and things like that, etc. I think it was like maybe a week ago. Was it a week ago? Maybe it was like some days ago. But anyways, we did see some information and they did show that the newest character was going to be, I believe his name is Takuma Ino, right? So this is going to be a video clip regarding that character and kind of showing a little bit of what they can do. So it's a 27-second clip. It's nothing crazy. We're just going to try to analyze it a little bit and go over what we see and kind of just talk about the character itself a little bit, just because I know a lot of people weren't really expecting this character all that much. Neither was I. So let's see. We were expecting it, right? But I wasn't expecting him to be next. All right, so let's see what they got going on here.
分かってんじゃねえか。霊気。くらえ。大宝随州一番開智。ぼちぼち俺も一級術師になっちゃうぞ。七海さんに頼られちゃった。事実に即し、己を律する慢心はない。
Okay, so he is the next character. Now let's actually go over and observe and see what we can find on the actual, clip, because obviously it's pretty fast. So if you're not really looking around, you're not going to see some things. If you stop and you check back and look at it, you'll kind of notice. First up, we're just going to scroll a little bit past here. So obviously this is most likely going to be his actual character art. When you obviously pull the character, it looks really nice. I don't think it's that bad at all. I like when they get really close into detail and they actually show a lot of the shading and things when they're doing things like this. And finally, for once, it's not just them splashing a bunch of, cursed energy all over the fucking screen. It's some kind of air effects, things like that. Let's continue though. All right, so we're going to see first right here, we're going to see his skills. All right, so first up, I'm not going to really, it says turn 1. And on turn 1, he's already, I think this is wave 3 out of 3? No, or is this just wave 1 out of 3? Either way, I see turn 1, he has full cursed energy, his full special gauge. I don't think any of that really matters though. I'm not going to really go over that too much. Maybe it might, maybe it won't. We'll see. But regardless, as you can see, we have his first skill, so it's probably going to be like a basic standard, normal attack. He is blue, as you can see right here, the enemies are weak to blue. And he is blue because you can obviously see that his skills do have the blue icon on top of it, meaning that he is a blue character, right? I'm going to, if I were to say, I'd have to take a big hunch. It's a big hunch that I say, but realistically, he's probably going to be a physical type character. So he's going to be a blue physical character. So yeah, first skill is obviously going to be single target. Second skill, I'm not entirely sure. But as you can see, he has his first skill, then his second skill, and then he has, of course, his third and fourth skill, with his second skill being 20 curse energy, his third skill being 35 curse energy, which is quite a lot. And then obviously his last skill is just his ultimate. Now, one thing I can note right here, just based off of this icon from his third skill, if I had to take a guess, it would definitely be dual action. We don't have another icon like this in the game, so this is the first time we're seeing it, and considering I see two fists on there, we're just going to assume that this is a buff that allows you to take double action. Okay, so as you see here, he used the third skill and it gives him, hold on, what was that? I think, was that evasion? Okay, so he got evasion, and I don't know what this one is. But regardless, he did get the buff, and then this buff will allow him to take double actions. It costs 35 curse energy, so it's quite steep. And as you can see, the next turn he followed up. And I don't remember seeing this attack anywhere on his list of attacks, meaning that he does get an enhanced attack. He does get an enhanced attack when he activates his third skill, and his third skill gives him that second buff with the bubbles. I'm assuming that is probably going to give him different attack effects, right? So this one might be his skill 1 now, right? His skill 1 might be this attack, because his skill 2 is still this, and unless his skill 3 is usable one time and then it swaps into an attack skill, which I highly, will it? I mean, he's at 45 here in cursed energy. and he was at 55 previously. So that does mean that this attack right here, I mean, it's hard to say, but realistically, what we do know for sure is that he is going to be able to attack twice, which is very nice. He applies evasion, and he also applies a enhanced effect to himself, which allows him to use this skill here, which is a enhanced attack, which also buffs him too. Can I see the buff? No, I can't. I think they cut it off. Yeah, they cut it off, so you can't even see the buff effect. This is probably a possibility that this is either going to be the event memory or his banner memory. We already have this memory, and we already have this memory as well. This is going to be his special ult animation. But yeah, as you can see, which is super important to the character's kit, is the fact that his skill 3 is going to be a main fundamental part of his entire kit, which allows him to get evasion, and of course, you know, gives him this enhanced effect. I don't know what this does, but when we get more information, we'll talk about it. He also gets an increase to his stats. I need to remember what the icons are. By the way, he's probably going to be like, he's either going to be a combined damage dealer or he's going to be a physical damage dealer, just based off of what we see. But yeah, he does have dual action, so he is the second character in the game to have dual action, and he is going to be a lot different than YUJI, where YUJI is more primarily focused on using his ult and then following up into his, you know, his dual actions for multiple turns. This character is going to be able to have his dual action very often, and you know what that means. I've said this before, but those follow-up characters, they're just going to get stronger as time passes on, and especially with a character like Ino, they're definitely going to be a lot more powerful than before. Mai is definitely going to be a good character to use with him, since he does get dual action. Mai is going to be able to apply those debuffs very rapidly. Megami, if you want to use Megami, you can, I guess, but Megami is kind of like a green DPS, and when you're trying to, of course, he's like a green DPS, sub DPS. When you're trying to maximize and use him, most of the times you're using him obviously on a mono green team anyways. But yeah, Mai definitely is going to function with him and be able to, you know, benefit off of him, considering he does have dual actions. This also means that he also benefits a lot more than other characters, just like Zone YUJI, from, like, let's say Domain Expansion Gojo, when he uses his ult and debuffs them, they'll be debuffed for multiple turns. Ino and of course Zone YUJI are characters that can utilize and take advantage of that debuff from a lot better than a lot of other characters, because they have dual actions, making them a lot superior compared to other characters. That's why I said this before, Zone YUJI is just way better than fucking Yellow Gojo. Everybody's just delusional. Like, you debuff an enemy and those debuffs are for like 4 turns or whatever, and then you got to remember that Zone YUJI's taking advantage of those even better than other characters, because he's able to have multiple actions in singular turns. So Ino's definitely going to be the same way. Now, he's not a super hyped character, so I don't know how powerful they're going to make him, but I mean, he is dual action, so it's definitely going to be unique to see. He's going to be a lot different. I want to try him out. I don't know, he's cool, but I feel like he looks goofy too, because he has this fucking mask on, and that shit just makes me laugh every time I see it, bro. Like, you just have your full team and they're all serious and shit, and this fucking guy has a fucking trash bag on his head, bro. I can't. But anyways, yeah. Skill 3, super important. It's going to give him dual action. It's going to give him evasion. It's going to give him enhanced effect, and then that enhanced effect is going to allow him to do this skill, and that skill is going to increase his damage dealt. So we're going to be able to see that, and then obviously he's still, skill 2 is still going to be there. We'll see how long the dual action lasts for, because that's going to be the biggest part of if the character is going to be that viable. We just need to know how long that is, because keep in mind that shit does cost 35 cursed energy, and that's quite a lot. So you would definitely need a cursed energy regen character to kind of sustain that if it doesn't last for a long time, and then that could make or break his kit or the character in general. We just need to see how many turns he has that buff active. But yeah, anyways, I know I talked a lot and yapped as usual, but I mean, that's how we do it here on the channel. If you don't like me yapping, bro, you could get the fuck out of here. But yeah, this is basically it. This is the character that's going to be coming, and I can't wait till he drops.